Depressing. Absolutely depressing. Absolutely terrible. A really rough day. A really, really, really rough morning. Absolutely just painful. Once again, one game a week. 5:30 a.m. I have one request when these games happen, is that I don't want to wake up and see the team come out playing like they just woke up at 5:30 a.m. And they do. And it happens again. And it's another lunchtime away kickoff where they just show up and just completely put in absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. It's unbelievable, man. I said I have all this positivity and it's going to come back. Doesn't matter when or how or who. But these games are the ones that test me more than absolutely anything else. Because there's no excuse for it. There's absolutely no excuse for these types of things. And we'll talk about it all, and we'll talk about Amarim, and we'll talk about all of that. And you know what? I don't care. As long as we can change him, we absolutely probably need to at this point. If you can guarantee me that Bruno's not going to be captain in the next game from the next manager, if you can guarantee me that Luke Shaw is not going to be playing, if you can guarantee me that it's not going to be the same people doing the same things over and over and over again with the next manager, then I will support a manager change. 100%. 100%. Then I will support that. Because that's about the only thing. Because it's the same repeat. It's every single other game is the same. I said some weeks ago that Amarim is going to walk himself into a sacking with the players that he puts faith in. And he's doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing. He's picking the same guys that are going to make the same issues. And Maguire, too, was absolutely horrible in that first goal. But and Bayindir, did we have to wait for Bayindir to be this bad to change it? I said in the pre-match as well, was like, that one to me is a shocker, because it's like, are we just waiting for him to make that mistake to make the change? I guess. I don't care if he's lost the dressing room. Fuck the dressing room. Have some pride and professionalism. Where's the dressing room with pride and professionalism? I'd lose them too. I'm done with those fucking people in the dressing room. 100%. The first goal, Maguire taking a horrible, horrible step up. Horrible step up on that offside line. Dowlow on that second goal is unbelievable. I mean, even on the first goal, it's Dowlow's horrible pass. Horrible pass. I don't know, man. I'm done, because I don't think he can pick the right players to win. He's trusting the people that are just going to cost him every single game. I don't think he has the right measure of this team. I don't think he has the right measure of this team. That's 2 penalties. 2 penalties missed by Bruno in close games. Fulham and Brentford now. 2 penalties. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's just terrible. But he's unsubbable, and he's going to play every single week. He rates the old guard. I can't believe it, man. You know what these guys are going to do. We know what these guys are going to do. They're going to sack him, and then they're going to sack the next manager, and then they're going to sack the next manager. And he's walking right into it. And apparently he can't see it. It's the same shit. No, like I said, yeah, exactly that. I'm going to bring this comment up because this was why I was so negative before the Chelsea game. Even on the goal, it's like, why isn't Euro back? Euro got punished for the performance against City. But like you said, no other players getting punished for their stuff. I know. Bayindir just gets to keep playing. Bruno just gets to keep playing. Shaw just gets to keep playing. Shaw was so bad today. But he was just as bad against Chelsea. Ever since KG said it, I fucking can't stop seeing it. I can't stop seeing it. He's so casual. Every time the ball comes to Shaw, 2 extra touches. 2 extra touches. Put his foot on the ball, slow it down, and then give it away. Slow it down, give it away. Slow it down, give it away. Can't pick, can't adapt, can't sub, time to go. It feels that way. It feels that way, man. And like I said, at the moment, I'm going to be very negative. Ugarte had a decent... Ugarte was our best player in the first half. He was. Not saying he was amazing, but he was actually our best player in that first half. And of course, yes, he gets subbed. But not Bruno. Can't be Bruno. Can't be Bruno. Ugarte was definitely our best player in the first half. Maybe the best, the only decent performance in the game was probably from him, actually. He had a bad moment in the second half there for sure. But like I said, he gets punished instantly. For one little thing, Ugarte will always get taken off. Always. Bruno can fuck it up for weeks on end and he will survive 90 minutes. He will survive 90 minutes. It's just how it is. It never changes like that. It's really bad. It's really bad. We're just wasting our time with this manager. It feels that way. Our squad just isn't as good. I hear that clipped, but that can't just be it. It cannot just be that. It cannot just be that. It's ridiculous. It looks like Cunha and Mbeumo spent too much time in the fish tank. That's what you get for the embarrassing player return over the summer. I mean, fuck, man. I'm baffled every week that certain players just, there's no standards for them. And that was my biggest concern before Chelsea, when I saw the lineup and I was like, all right, we won that game. Would say it defies belief, but it doesn't mean, no, it doesn't, because it's the same guys. It's the same guys. Weren't you saying you wouldn't change manager regardless season because of underlying stats? Yeah. Yeah. But if you keep picking the wrong guys, then it doesn't matter, because that means more. Like, there's 2 different discussions that I have here. Who would be your number 1 replacement for Amram? I don't know, man. We can get to that in a second. Because I'm willing to discuss it. Because there's 2 different discussions for me. You know what I mean? It's like, I've said all year, I've been consistent that I thought the big mistake Amram would make is his selection of players. His selection of players is really, 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 really poor. And he's trusting players that will let him down. He's trusting players that will be shit one week, good the next, be shit one week, good the next, be shit one week, good the next. And he trusts them. And he keeps putting his faith in them. And he's wrong. And he's totally wrong. I know what these guys are. I know what these players are. We all know what these players are. We all know. We all know what these players are. We know what a lot of these guys are. And these other guys are going to come in and they're going to keep playing with them. And it's going to be crap. You know, you can see it. And then the good players, the new players, they start to decline. They start to decline. They start to decline. They haven't done enough of a clear out. Yeah, but I don't think they can. They could all in this summer. Every manager has it. Ten Hag has his favoritism. And I criticized it very, very heavily then. And I'm going to criticize it very, very heavily now. Because it's like, only 3 players who started today have been here more than 1.5 years. And they were the problem. Well, actually, it's a lot more than that. I don't know how you can say that. Bruno, Bayindir, Maguire, Dowlow, Shaw have all been here for 2+ years. And those are the main problems in this team, week in and week out. Those are the main problems in this team. So yeah, it is those. It's 5, dude. It's 5. Bayindir, Dowlow. Bayindir absolutely counts. He's been here more than 2 years and he's shit. And he's shit. And he's still, why is Lawman's not in here? Why is it? That was the one I said it was like absolutely shocking. And Casemiro would have started without the red. Yeah. Yeah, but he can't even keep himself on the pitch by getting a red. He can't. Who are you placing them with? The players? It doesn't matter to me. Like I looked at it and I go, Euro, we wanted to start. Kabi Menu, I want him to start. Lamens, I want him to start, because at least then we are building something. If you're picking this old guard of shit players and you're losing, what are we doing here? What are we doing? If you're picking these guys who you know are shit and have done this for years, they're not building. You're not building for the future. You're not creating anything. Then what are we doing here? Then what are we doing? Why are we even playing? What are we even talking about? Wasn't Manu supposed to be competing with Bruno? Yeah, but Bruno's undroppable. I said that after Fulham, and I said it after City. He will never drop him. And that's on him, and he should be dropped. He should have been dropped after City. But it's like, what are we doing, man? I don't know what we're doing anymore. When I look at the lineup and I look at the players who are on the pitch, why? Look at this. Look at this, man. 18 possessions lost, 78% passing. Just horrendous shit. And it's the same guys. Why does Dallo, Maguire, Shaw, Bruno, and Bayindir play every game when they're fit? Why? Why, man? Why do we keep persisting with this? What's the point? What are we doing? Of course there's no improvements. We're picking a team that wasn't good enough for Solskjaer. Let me ask you this question. Was Maguire, Shaw, and Dallo good enough for Solskjaer 5 years ago? No. And they're starting today. They weren't good enough for the last manager. They weren't good enough for the manager before. And they're starting. Week in and week out. And there's no consequences. But Euro punished for one bad game. When it was really Bruno's fault. But it was Euro's fault. Apparently. There is, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't even know where you go. And you cannot let the players off the hook. You can't. I'm sorry, you cannot. You can, like I said, you can talk about it. Even with everything that have happened, we're back in the game. We have a penalty, and Bruno misses again. 3 points directly he's cost us from missing penalties already this season. 3. It's fucking ridiculous. It's pathetic. From the captain. That's the captain. Setting the tone game in and game out. He's cost us so many points. Week in and week out. We have all the momentum at that point in time. We get a penalty, and he misses it again. And it was a shit penalty. Another shit penalty. It's not even like a good save. It's just crap. And that's the captain. Missing penalties. 2 times in 6 games. Missing penalties. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, man. It's absolutely pathetic. And that's the captain. That's who sets the tone for the rest of the team. That's the guy. And then he completely lost his head after the penalty as well. It was just ridiculous. Can't even win 2 games in a row we play. I know. It sucks. It's awful. Yes, thank you for Bruno. You can unsubscribe for the Bruno hate. Watch him actually play. Don't live in the past on it. If you want to talk about the manager, we can, and I am 100%. But Bruno has been our worst player this season. Genuinely. He's been bad in almost every single game. Have you not figured that out yet? He has. He's been bad in almost every single game, and it was the same last year. And he's the captain. And he's the captain. If I'm Sir Jim Osaki and I'm now, but for what? For what? To do what? I blame the manager a million times. He's the one picking it. And I said he's going to walk himself into a sacking by picking the wrong players. Not being a deep midfielder doesn't mean he can't finish fucking penalties. He was shit last year to start the season in the 4-2-3-1 under Ten Hag. He got 3 red cards in the start of the year, up through December. He played most of that time in a 4 at the back, in the 10. It's been like this for years, man. It's just, he's declining. That's the truth of it. This is what a decline looks like. You get this up, down, but the whole overall trend is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Bruno is done. He is. He's on the decline. And I'm not going to be fooled by a few good games that he'll have here and there. Bruno should be near the opposition box, not our box. Where do you take penalties from? To me, it's about 10 yards away from the goal. That's in the opposition box. He's there. There's no forgiveness for that. Missing 2 penalties in 6 games during the season is utterly, inescapably, unforgivably shit. And his overall performance is no better either. But he can't be subbed off. He can't be subbed off. No, trust me, the whole team was bad today. Oh, it's 12 yards. Excuse me. Thanks. 12 yards. Yeah. So it's 12 yards away from the opposition box. How much closer does he have to be? How much closer does he have to be to score? And it's not just the penalties. When is he going to have a stop talk? Why? The idea of a game is to create chances and to create goals. If you create a penalty, that's a chance. That's a goal. That's a good thing. Missing that penalty is inescapably bad. It's inexcusable. Like, they still have to finish the plays. They still have to finish them. Those things can't be excused. The idea is to create goal-scoring chances. It's a sure goal. And plenty of players were terrible. Absolutely horrible. Horrific. Awful performances. If Bruno scored the penalty, he still played crap. I agree. He still played crap. It's been like this for ages. It's not relying on pens. First of all, it was a red card because it's a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Pens is saying we're relying on pens is the dumbest argument on earth. That is a chance created. It should be a pen and it should be a red card because it was a good chance. And it was a very, very good chance. And then we didn't get the red and we missed the penalty. So we got absolutely nothing out of that moment. Only us would we fuck that all up, honestly. Only at United would we fuck that all up. It's awful. It's awful. And Bumo was bad. Yep. Cunha was bad. Yep. Šeško was decent. How does Emram not see? I don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have any excuses for him. I'm not going to make any excuses for him. I'm not going to make any excuses for Emram. At all. Because it's the same shit every week, man. It's the same shit. The reason we lose every single week is the same. Every time we lose, every time we don't win, it is the same. It's the same reasons, the same problems. It's the same mistakes. It's the same culprits. It's the same everything. Thank you, Ranveer. Appreciate that. You know, it's like, yes, we can blame individuals. They're the ones on the pitch as well. Like, you look at that first goal, man. It's one ball over the top. One ball. That's it. That's it. One ball over the top, and we concede. And the second one, we have 5 defenders in the box, and we can't win the rebound. We have 5 defenders, and we can't win the rebound. It just sucks, man. It's the same shit every single week. McGuire's completely asleep. No, I disagree. When everybody's bad, it's usually set up. No, it's not. We've seen this for years. When's it going to be a good system? When it's the same stuff every single time. When is it going to change? Like, my next like they've down tools. Like, I wouldn't disagree with that. You look at the stuff that we can't do, and it's like, it's 5-yard passes and stuff. And let's say that they've lost the dressing room. I remember you showing, this week I talked about how we were bad in defense. Yeah. Like, let's say we've lost the dressing room. Okay. Fuck the dressing room. That's how I see it. It's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable. No, they have absolutely down tools. We can say they're hamstrung by the tactical setup. The tactical setup does not explain why they cannot make 5-yard passes over and over. We were shit in the 4-2-3-1. We were shit in the 3 at the back. They come out of halftime and they can't make a simple pass. Everything is so slow. Bruno flatters to deceive with moments of brilliance. 90% of his play on and off the ball is poor. He deserves the sack for failing to drop him. I agree. There was a point in the second half I was watching him mark the referee again while Mbumo's yelling at him to step up and press. When they hire an actually good coach, look at where it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. Was Jose a bad coach? Yes, sure. After United, he hasn't won anything. Like, it just doesn't matter to me. Jose is one of the most successful coaches of all time. He failed, you know? And it's the same people, man, every time. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, man. We make everything look so difficult. I don't understand how having an extra center back leads to... Well, because it's not actually more defenders. I know that's like an easy thing to say, but Dallow's all the way up the pitch half the time, you know? It isn't going to keep sacking till it works. If you're going to sack the players too, it's not everyone. There's been many good games, many good games from Mbumo, good performances from Cunha, good performances from a number of players, but the same guys will have bad games most of the time. The same guys will have bad games most every single game. Cunha can have a bad game once in a while coming back from an injury. And Mbumo can have one bad game here or there. That can happen. They can do that. We've got guys who have been doing this for 2-3 years, going up, down. One good game, one shit game. One good game, one shit game. One good game, one shit game. Who in particular needs to go? It's the same. I would turn over, like I said many times, Dallo, Bruno, Shaw, McGuire, Bayindir, anyone who's been here for that long and playing needs to go. They just completely turn it over. And you could change the manager too, of course, because he's picking them. You know, of course, you could change the manager too. Get rid. Get rid. Get rid. Just it's crazy. Casemiro can't stay on the pitch because he can't not get red cards. Like, it's just, I'm just done with them. Get rid of all of them. and turn it over. I don't know what else can even be done. They will do the same thing to the next manager. I guarantee it. They 100% will. No, don't worry. They'll turn up for like 5 games. They'll turn up for 5 games. They'll do a little bit here and there and show you and say, oh yeah, look, see, change the managers is fine. It's all good. So everything's okay now. And then they'll do it again because it's what they do. It's what they do. As long as they're there. And that would be my qualification for the next manager. You can't keep picking it. I said all week, Luke Shaw, he had an okay game. He's going to have a stinker. You can see it. Anyone who's watched him knows. Anyone who watched him knows. You can see it with Bruno. I've said it all year. He's going to have these bad games. You can see it. You can see it. You can't take the responsibility off of the players in the way that they're performing. It's crazy. You know what Dallo is. We all know what Dallo is. It's the same. Against Fulham, who was it? Bruno, Dallo. Against Brentford, it's again the same shit. Bruno, Dallo. We all know that what they're going to do week in and week out. I say this, any new coach come. Well, and that's the depressing part. That's why I'm saying that where I have very much like lost any faith in the manager here. What has lost me the faith most of all, by Indir, yeah. What has lost me faith most of all is if we were playing young players that have a future, I would say good. We're moving through this rebuild. If we were playing Lamans after getting him, I would say cool. We're moving through this rebuild. If we're playing Aiden Heaven, I'd say we're moving through this rebuild. If we continue with Lenny Oro despite a bad game, I'd say we're moving through this rebuild. But we're not. The same guys get away with it every single week. It's the same guys, and there's no consequences. And that's what depressed me, and that's what really, 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 really worried me before Chelsea. I said nothing changes till the Glazers leave the clutch entrenched and rotten mold. Doesn't matter which player. Well, I would tend to agree, but I think that it does. We haven't actually got rid. We haven't actually moved them off, like we haven't changed them. But that is particularly what really, really worries me. Because at least with young players, with guys who are working for their future, I would say they have fight. That they're going to fight, that they're going to try. I watch them sleepwalk into these games. Over and over. And if they're not going to be here in the future, then why are they playing? What are we building for? That's the part that really, really loses me. I said it to KG, when there's no consequences. Bruno looked defeated before the game started. I agree. When there's no consequences for crap, then there's no consequences for crap. I said before Chelsea, I said the fact that Shaw continues to play, that some of these guys continue to play, will kill me more than anything when they make mistakes, because you're telling them it's okay to play shit. You're telling them it's okay to play shit. And then they're going to play shit again. And that is poor management. That is just absolutely poor management. It's funny because this is exactly my point, Reese. This is what I was saying. This is what kills me. And this is what loses me faith entirely in Ruben Amorim. Because it's 2 different points to me. And this is the number 1 point for me. This is what really, really bothers me. Why are there no consequences for some of these senior players that are absolutely crap week in and week out? You're letting them off the hook and you're telling them it's okay to be shit. And for that, I'm basically done. Because we'll never get consistency. We'll never get consistency that way. We will never. It's been going on for years. And it's the easiest way to end up back in the same hole we're in. The standards are gone. The standards are gone when you do that. He's resorted to big players who played big games and hoping. Well, yeah, and Ten Hag did the same thing. He would not have standards for certain players, and then he would keep some on in hopes that they could pull a win out. And you just can't build this way. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. It's depressing. It's depressing. Like, it's depressing. Where are the biggest problem that I have is this, okay? And I'm going to make my point on this clear. Again, I do think it's mentality. I do think the assessment of what's wrong is right, but he's not fixing it. He's not fixing it. Instead of to fix the mentality, to fix the standards in the team, to raise the bar, you have to have consequences for players who play like shit. And you have to run a fully merit-based selection. There has to be merit-based management. And instead, it's ultimately reliant on the same shit it always has. You just pick the same players who've been there for a long time, the same players who've been there for a long time in hopes that they're going to bail you out. And that's it. That's it. It's just, if he's not going to fix that, then he's useless. And you know what's really, really, really depressing to me is that this is the opposite of how he managed at Sporting, and it blows my mind. It's the opposite. It's like people get to United and they just lose their fucking head. Like, they just lose their head. It's the exact opposite of what he did at Sporting. The exact opposite of how he did man management there. He kicked out a lot of older players, moved on from those guys, rewarded a lot of young players, built for the future. They get to United and they lose it. And they lose it. He messed up last season. He kept playing these guys when he was actually on a free hit. Now it matters and he can't drop them. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, that is a worry. That is a worry. That is seriously a worry. The players run on, but it shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? It shouldn't matter what wages they're on, you know? But they've all done it. Ruben, Eric, Ollie, they've all done the same thing. They've all fallen on the same sword. Exactly. They'll pick the same guys and they'll refuse to drop them instead of building for the future. City will go ahead 1-0 against Burnley. Yeah, you know, but to be clear, Van Gaal was the only one who didn't. And I didn't like the way he played, but I've said many, many times he's done it before. You know, that he was the one guy who did that. He trusted the likes of Quenda, Diomande, Debast, Inacio. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He had good wing. No, he didn't though. He didn't though. He converted he brought Quenda through and he converted that winger Maxi Araujo to his left wing back over the last 2 years. You know, he converted him from a winger. He just took young players and said, you're going to play there, and put that trust in them. I don't know who the right manager is. I don't know. Have I seen the Amram quotes? Yeah, let me see. But my biggest, I see the thing about the ref, which sucks. Whatever. We need to work on everything. The frustration is every goal today we worked on during the week. That's frustrating. We can have more control of the ball. Cool. It's always the same. When we win, it's not the system. When we lose, it's the system. I understand that. We didn't play our game. We only had control for some moments, but it was more or less all the same. We need to play our games, not the opponents, but they were stronger on that. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I agree with that. It's like, obviously, he did take a center back up for an attacker at the end, but yeah, it's like, obviously All of that. Like, man, I don't know what to say. I know. Well, and that's the thing is he sit there and will say we didn't have control. We're never going to have control when you play Bruno. If Bruno is your tempo man, we will never be in control of games. You're going to live and die by him, and you're going to keep picking him, and it's going to keep happening, and you're not going to understand why. And it's going to keep going, and it's going to keep happening, and it's never going to end. And it won't, and it hasn't. As long as you're doing that, it's going to keep happening. It was the same with Fulham. Like, I don't know, man. He's never been. No, he hasn't. And unfortunately, in this system, there's even a bit more responsibility on him than usual. You know, he's digging his own. Exactly, he's digging his own grave. It sucks, man. It sucks. It really, really does suck. Manu in one CBL back for. I don't think that's going to change it, though. As long as this, look, I don't disagree with you in theory, but as long as the solution is everything runs through Bruno, it's going to live and die by Bruno. I've been saying this the entire season. We will live and die by Bruno. We will. And we will continue. We will always, always, always live and die by Bruno Fernandes. Okay. That is the truth. That's where we're at. We're going to live and die by Bruno as long as Bruno is the captain and focal point of this team. And look at the games that we play. Against Arsenal, he turns it over, leads to the goal by making a bad pass back to Lenny. Against Fulham, misses the penalty, loses his head, loses Smith Rowe. Against City, loses his man over and over and over. We will live and die by Bruno. And that doesn't mean it's just him. That doesn't mean it's just him. But he is the captain of the team. And he is poor more often than not. He represents the team. He represents the team. He does. It doesn't matter where you keep him. This is the point. He has to be dropped. He has to be dropped because, like Amram said himself, when you start him in the 10, the problem is he drops very, very deep to get the ball. He always does it. He said, Bruno, you remember these quotes from the last week? He says, Bruno wants all the freedom in the world. Bruno wants all the freedom in the world. He wants that. You know? So you play him in the 10, guess what he's going to do? He's going to drop all the way back and you're not going to have any forwards. That's what he did last year when he was in the 10. Portmanus, Martimo, Rio Avenue. Yeah, but Sporting is a decent sized club. But I agree in general. It's different. It is different. But he's undroppable. I don't care if we dropped him versus Grimsby. Again, it's like one game. It's like one game. This is the same shit. Using one game as an example. Ruben's managed one win before. We beat Chelsea. So does that mean Ruben's a good manager or the right manager? No, it was one game. So it's just one game. That's one game. What about last season? It's because everything runs through him. If you take the training wheels off, you're going to fall over. So the idea is just keep it on forever. All right, we're never going to move on with Bruno. He's going to play until he's 45. Is that the answer? Is that the answer? Just we can never change. We never move on from him because he's played a lot of games we lost. Bruno, you can say 2-0 Grimsby when he wasn't there. You can say 2-0 Grimsby when he wasn't there. He was there today and we were down 2-0 in 19 minutes to Brentford. So it's no difference. That's not it, man. It's not it. Rude was setting up the team better. He was. I would agree with that. I don't care where he's playing. Everything runs through him, and it's not the only problem, but people who cannot accept that he is a big part of the problem in this team. Like, what are you watching? He literally missed the penalty again today. That would have given us a point. Literally, he lost us the European final against Spurs by making a mistake. Like, come on, man. Wake up a little bit, at least be able to acknowledge it, because there's a lot of things I can acknowledge. There's a lot of things that I can look at. I can look at the team and say, cool, Ruben is fucking it up. He is not creating any sort of standards here. And a big part of that is who he is selecting. And a big part of that is Bruno. He's one of the biggest culprits in that. Without Bruno, United would still have the exact same record under him. Agreed. Probably. We should have replaced it. We should have. We should have. It's been this way for a long time, man. It's been this way for a long time. It sucks. It's really, really rough. It's really shit. Oh, man. And it's not just Bruno, obviously. It's, yeah, I know it. It'll be Casemiro and Bruno next week. He'll get off scot-free yet again. And there's Dallo and Shaw, and I can't even get out. I can't even like start. Like, we know who is crap. We know who's crap. Dallo, the worst player in the pitch by a country mile. Yeah, 100%. Like, when we have new players like Cunha and Mbeumo, the difference is, like, sure, they can have a bad game. They haven't been here for years. We know who you are with some of these guys. We know who they are with some of these guys, and yet they just get away with it constantly. And that, there's no standards, man. Where's the fucking standards? Like, where is the standards with these guys? No, they're not better in a 4-2-3-1. We were on 8 points after 7 games last year in a 4-2-3-1 with these guys playing. So a draw against Sunderland, and we're the same as we were last year. We're on the same points. If we draw against Sunderland at home, we're on the same points as we were last year under Ten Hag in a 4-2-3-1. They were no better. They were just as shit. They did the same shit last year. They were poor, terribly poor in general. Who else do we have? Heaven, Manu, Yoro. You know? I know we had 10 out last season, but I'm just saying, like, it was a different manager, different formation, same culprits, same problems. And I blamed a lot of the shit on the same way. And like, I'm blaming Amarim now, but I'm not going to say it's not the player's fault either. I'm not going to say it's not the player's fault at all. So he hasn't fixed it. He hasn't fixed my biggest complaint. He hasn't played a merit-based management. He has not implemented a merit-based management that rewards players and punishes players equally. He hasn't. We've even gone deeper into the hole, unfortunately. And that is what has lost me a lot of faith, unfortunately. That's where I'm just like, that's where I feel hopeless. That's where I feel totally hopeless. If there's no consequences for not being able to do the basics, for not putting in energy, for not having any kind of effort, for coming out of the blocks like you don't care at all, then there's no consequences at all. Then it's all allowed. Then you're just saying it's okay. It's tacit acceptance. That's the standards being dropped. That's where I agree with the standards argument when it comes to with Amarim. He's not raising the standards; they're getting lower. They're getting lower and lower and lower, and that is a problem. It is the fact. It's the fact that he's making the same mistakes. Yeah, I agree with that. Like the fact that he's making the same mistakes is just crazy to me. How do you make the same mistakes over and over again? Yeah, Bruno being bad now doesn't change how good he was first pass. Exactly. Like I said, I think he's in decline. That's my point. We are seeing decline, and we're still doing it. Liverpool getting battered, but Alisson keeping them alive. Something we've not had in a long time. Also, I'm officially hammer out. Fair enough. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But we're picking by India. We just signed a keeper, and we're picking by India week in and out. Man. Yeah, I don't have the answer. Like I said, it's always it always comes back to that. As long as we're picking, choosing to pick certain people, then there's nothing. Then there's no excuse. I'm done, Ferguson. I'm going to drop senior players and put on teenagers. But I agree. I definitely don't want Glasner. He plays. It's great that he's doing well today. He plays very, very defensive football in the same formation. Don't worry, Casemiro's back soon. Yeah. That'll fix it. I get that Palace team is good, but the style that they are is not necessarily going to translate to trying to be in control of games. Not saying he's not a good manager. He's a very, very good manager for Palace, but wanting another deep block counterattacking manager is not what we need at the moment. I don't have the answer, to be honest. I really like Ireola. But we also need to sell Bruno, Casemiro, and change all the same players to play for Ireola. Ireola lives on intensity. Who here is playing with intensity? What midfield there? You're going to get a good, disciplined, intense press from Bruno and Casemiro. I don't think so. You know, like we're going to have to make the same changes with the personnel. So don't get me wrong. I will love it. But you're going to have to make the same changes that we're going to have to make anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm on board if that's the plan. You know what I mean? If we're going to do that, then I'm on board with the same players. Yeah, look how hard the Bournemouth players run. Yeah. I didn't say he doesn't have good enough players to not win 27%. I'm saying that we still have the same problems. Like we're underperforming for the personnel we have 100%. 100%. But my standard isn't, oh, we'll start winning 40% and it'll all be okay. No, it's not. It's not. We're gonna do this. We'll do the same bounce up and down cycle that we've done so many times if we don't make the change. Can't wait for Wilcox's broader messages. We're unlucky with to compete with Faith, flying and say all is fine. He picks players based on who likes them. I mean, I don't know any of that, honestly. I don't know any of that. We still need to have a goal for where we're trying to get to. Yeah, for personnel on paper, right? How good actually are some of these guys? How good is Luke Shaw at center back? What position? Is Luke Shaw a top 8 center back? Tell me. Is Luke Shaw a top 8 center back? No. Is Bayindir a top 8 goalkeeper? No, he's 19th. Is Dallo a top 8 right back? No, probably 18th. So no, it's like, it can be very, very much the both. It can be very, very much the both. Maguire's a good backup option. Yes, a good backup option. I wanted Lenny Yoro to start this game for sure, because I knew we needed pace to come back for the counter. You know, is Bruno a top 6 midfielder? Not for 3 years. Not for 3 years. When's the last time Bruno's been a top 6 midfielder? You can't perform for 2 months out of the season and be a top 6 midfielder. There has to be flex. I agree, Richard. I agree. 100%. Because they were playing worse before. I know what these guys are. Like, if you want to argue that Shaw is good, he's not, man. He hasn't for years. It's been like this for ages. Like, there's issues systemically that make some of those players worse. But you're telling me we need to change for Shaw? No, I don't think so. When I'm watching Bruno not be able to complete 5-yard passes and miss penalties, that makes me want to change my system for him? Absolutely not. Do you want me to change the system for Dallo? Like, that's the point of this argument that I have. You're right. This system doesn't get the most out of a lot of those players. This system doesn't get the most out of a lot of those players. So tell me, do you want to change the system for Shaw, Dallo, Maguire, Bruno, and Bayindir? Should we change for them so that we can get the most out of them? Is that who we should be changing our system for? Because those seem to be the players struggling the most to adapt into it. No, I don't want to change the system at all for those players. Who does the system get the most out of, genuinely? Well, for one, Bryan Mbeumo. Bryan Mbeumo is playing a bit poor, but he is actually getting himself into very, very good positions time and time again, and just unfortunately messing it up. He drew another penalty today. We actually got Šeško a goal today, though it could be better. Cunha's getting on the ball a lot. There's a lot of players that are benefiting from the system, but the other half are just they can have a bad game here or there. Like, Bryan has had more chances, like statistically, way more chances than he had last year per game. He's just not playing that well, unfortunately, in a game like this. It's getting them into attacking areas. They are getting the ball in the attacking areas more places than others. I mean, Cunha today is just launching long shots, you know? We can change the system for Shaw, Bruno, Maguire, and it's going to be the same thing every single week. It's going to be the same thing every single week, man. Cunha was just poor today. Those are things that's silly to blame. People think a system is going to suddenly make all these guys better. It's not. Some of them are just poor performers. But the problem I have, the biggest problem that I have is it is insidious through the team. When we have so many players who are up and down, it means that the standards are not being kept at the club. When you have so many players who will be good one week, bad the next week, when we know they're good players, like Mbeumo, like Cunha, we know they're good players. We do. We literally know they are good players. The fact that they're up and down so much is a massive indictment. But we've had guys that have been doing that up and down for 4 years, and there's nothing. There's no standards for them. That's where I'm at. I don't know. I don't have anything else. I think Emram's lost the plot because he doesn't put consequences for players playing poorly. And that's insidious, and it's insipid. And it basically tells everyone it's okay to play like shit as long as you're over the age of 23. As long as you're over the age of 23, that's okay. As long as you're not Lenny, Ugarte, who else? I don't even know. Xerxes. As long as you're not one of those guys, it's okay to play like shit week in and week out. There are no standards for you. It's obvious everyone staffers and Mainu, excuse me. If you're not Mainu, Lenny, and Ugarte, you're not going to get benched for anything. And then the standards are on the floor. And then this is what you get. There's no demand. Yeah. Kabi, Lenny, and Ugarte, I think, are the three players that no matter what, they're going to be punished for everything. For everything. It's terrible. It's just poor management. I don't know. It's so weird. It's really, really weird. It's really weird. Let's do callers, guys, because let's do callers. I want to know some of your guys' thoughts. And again, I'm always going to prioritize the people who have some videos, but yeah, let's do callers. Come give some of your thoughts, because I don't know, man. I'm just depressing. Manu was crap again. He got 2 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, when is he going to get to play? Bruno will get 1,000 minutes to play into form. Manu comes on, makes a mistake. Sure, he made a mistake. Maybe if he played for more than 10 minutes and wasn't having to play as a 6 next to Bruno, but actually playing into his strengths, he might have a better chance at getting into some kind of form, you know? All right, Parth, you ready, bud? Okay. How you doing, man?
Not very good game-wise. How are you, James?
Not good.
So for the first time, like I've been a strong backer of Amorim, players like Ugarte and stuff. Like we've spoken here as well. Like if you look, like even I've come on to your stream. Thank you for allowing me, by the way, in the
Yeah.
past. And I have not been very excited with the wins. Like don't get me wrong, I was super happy that we won against Chelsea and all, but I would have been more happy had we won today. This has
Yeah,
happened in
me
the
too.
past where we don't back it up. We had a good performance against Chelsea. No, I was fine with us being pragmatic second half. Fine, we got the 3 points. Now back it up. You can't say,
Yep.
like, I understand he was on a leash last year. Like he was given a free run, not on a leash last year, but now is the time. We bought players that suit his system. Um, Excellent players, top quality, two of the best players in left 10 and right 10 in the league.
Yep.
You can't go on picking Bayern and players like that. You have to have the most important thing that we've been looking to have in a United coach is some balls to drop players. And the last player to manage to do that was Louis van Gaal. He had the
Yeah, I
balls to
agree.
control that dressing room. None of the others have. Like, he was commanding. His football was shit anyway, but he had a system and he had a personality there. We thought Amorim had. Like, honestly, he speaks very well, but I like after the game you get you understand what he's saying, but his words don't match his actions. And
Right.
if you're
Yeah.
gonna,
Because I
yeah,
agree with what he's saying, but then, like you
it
say, we
doesn't
don't control the
seem,
game. Okay, what are you going to
yeah,
do about it? Because
exactly.
there's a reason we're not controlling games and you're not fixing it.
He says the right things, but that's like being a politician at this stage. You
Yeah.
say the right
Yeah.
things, but your actions don't speak for it. And if they're going to
Yeah.
make a change, I would rather make the change right now and not wait for the international break. Give the new guy the international break to whoever is there. Like we don't have many good players
Yeah.
who play for the national teams in any case. If you're going to sack
Mm.
him, sack him now. Don't
Right.
like Ten Hag 3 games in near a packed December schedule. Throw him under the bus there when we are playing like big teams. Like that
Mm.
Liverpool game, then it's actually a free hit. Like, hey, that's a new game.
Yeah.
Go do whatever you want. So I don't. But there's no option. Like Xavi, I don't know. We ain't getting Iraola right now mid-season.
What do you think is the biggest thing that's wrong here? Like, I
His
mean,
team
are
selection.
you team selection? Okay, so
That's
you're in
he
agreement with my thought about that. Okay.
100% team selection. I Mazraoui had a good game last game or 2 games back, whatever. But he's not a wing back.
Yeah.
He can be a very good right hand in a 3-man back three. You need
Yeah.
pace. You can't have Maguire and Delict and
And
Shaw.
Shaw.
And Shaw. Lenny Yoro is a generational talent. You're dropping
Yeah.
Ugarte. You're dropping Yoro. You're never dropping Bruno. The
Shaw's played
whole
6 out of 6 to start the year. It's a left center back,
exactly
and he's been bad for 4 of
all of them.
those, maybe 5,
Like,
maybe
see,
6, depending on your opinion.
a few glimpses here and there,
Yeah.
like we get excited because that's all we've been feeding scraps here. Like absolutely nothing. there is no consistency. You have to be able to motivate your players. That's your major job.
Yeah.
That's the first goal. These are all good professional footballers. Like they know how to kick a ball. Like we should
Yep.
hope they do, but it's just not working out. And if you're going to sack him now, and don't wait for the season to be over and then start continuing. We've done good. The whole point of me being excited this season was, for the first time I thought we had a squad, but it's useless if you're not going to use it. If Cunha
Yeah.
is having a
Especially
bad
one
game,
game a week.
I'm
Like,
not
just,
saying he's a crap player. Bring Mount on at the right time.
yeah.
If Bruno is having a bad game, bring Mino on. There's accountability to it then. It kicks
Yeah.
them on like, okay, fuck, he subbed me off. I'm going to prove him wrong. Okay, prove him wrong.
Yep.
It's a win-win
Yep.
for everyone.
Yeah. I agree.
Zirkzee
I
is
agree.
not seeing the field for whatever reason.
Yep.
It's a shit show, like absolute.
I'd
shit
play
show.
Xerxes in the 8 at this point over what we're seeing. Like, why not, man? He's big, he's tall, he can control the ball, he can complete a pass. I'd do
Question mark on
anything
that.
right now to just try some
Mhm.
different things here in place of what we're seeing. But I agree. Thank you, Parth.
Thanks,
See
James.
you later,
Have a good
buddy.
one.
All right, Kachi. Oh, we'll go What's that? We'll go Hamza. I clicked the wrong one. We'll come right back, Kachi. Sorry. Hamza, how you doing?
Hi, James. How you doing? Horrible
Fine,
game.
fine. Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Don't really have words for the game. I think he says that we didn't play our game, but you're in charge of that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even like the whole game, we played the same way. Like not, if you notice it in the first half, you could make a change in the second half. Like which I
Yep.
agreed with his comments, but he just didn't do anything about it. I think like we were tailoring our game to suit Brentford's style, to play
Yep.
exactly how they play. And like before the season, we said like, oh, Brentford or a candidate to get relegated now. Like Thomas Frank's gone, and they lost all their players. I mean, I don't know why we're adapting our system to play like them, or we're so scared about their transitions where we're building a team to do that. It's baffling, and uh, I mean, like many points, like Dalot, like I guess it's not his fault, but at the same time, like the problem is we have different profiles there. So if you don't play Ahmad, you're playing a defender straight away, and
Right.
you
Yep.
get a completely different like profile. And like I would even taken a risk and played like a Mantato or someone, or Academy, someone like
Yeah.
that doesn't change your complete style just because you're changing a player, because when you
Yes.
don't have
Yes.
Ahmad, like Dado on the ball, he just shifts on his left foot and he clears it, and I don't know where it goes. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bruno's Bruno. Like it's the same thing all the time. Like I think the biggest mistake was, obviously, his mistake. Amram was pushing to keep him. You know what I mean? I think like he
Yeah.
was fighting to keep Bruno. And he saw a place for Bruno, and I guess that was his mistake. I was a big fan of Amram, but and maybe I still am, but there's inconsistencies. Like there's games where we're creating so much chances. This game, we barely created the chance, and if we do create a chance, it's off a transition, which I don't know if I want to be playing against like the lower league teams. Maybe against Chelsea and
Yeah.
City, but like if we can't control the ball, we can't control the games, and I mean I don't care about the system. I don't care about forward the back. It doesn't really matter to me, like because I saw some good signs, but I think in our build up, one huge thing that I hate, and I was gonna say it after the City game, but I wasn't able to join, is we build we build up from the wings and we overcrowd those wings. So there's like Shaw and Dorgu together, and then maybe that
Yeah.
10 is there. And then okay, maybe we'd switch it. But I mean I think all successful teams are a lot of successful we neglect building up from the middle, and the problem with building up from the wings is that it gets overcrowded very easily. It's easily to close the space where we end up just clearing the ball and focusing on second like balls, which we've been
Yeah.
better at. But I mean that's the
Today
only
was really
problem.
poor on that. Today was really. And I think the problem too is when it's slow,
Yeah,
this doesn't work at all. Like when you're doing the build up to one side to bait the
yeah,
defense to one side and then get it back to the other side, it has to be fast. When you do
yeah,
it slow, you're letting them set up, you're letting them block all your passing angles, and then they do that. They move so slow that the defense is all set and you never get any kind of gaps in there. Nothing happens. And I just don't understand that aspect of it. Like, why so slow?
It's horrible. Like it's the same. It's like okay, it's the center back, the right center back to the right wing back, back to the right center back. Then you might clear it, and if you get a good switch, and then you have Dorgu, who's maybe not the best one. I mean, it creates chances, but it's just we don't sustain them. We don't sustain that pressure, which is a problem. And I guess the midfield selection, like always, like I think Kobe, like I love Kobe, and I think he like fine. I understand if he has to grow into the role, but like you said, and something I really agree with, like he should have taken that loan. Like they should have given it to him because, like to be honest, like when is Bruno gonna get dropped? I don't think he is. Like Amram wouldn't
Yeah.
drop him. He personally rejected the, generational money, generational stuff just to stay here, and that's for him. And I mean, even after a bad game, doesn't get dropped. Oh, if Bruno scores a goal, he's staying on for the next 5 games, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's tough, but yeah, it is.
It is tough.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, well, appreciate it. Keep up.
See you, man. All right, Kachi. Sorry for getting you out of order. How you doing?
I'm not doing good, James. James, man.
It's not good.
I think you know what, yeah. Before I
Yeah.
talk about like player performances, I think there's something important we need to talk about that is becoming, kind of embarrassing now. What's wrong with Premier League referees? Like,
Yeah.
I
hear
don't
that.
understand. Okay, even before we get to Brentford, we know that this kind of for the first 5 minutes, I'm like, okay. And when I saw the long stories, I'm like, okay, I know what kind of game we're coming here to play today.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Kudos to them. That's their style. Cool. And then if the match is like that, is the job of the referees to like balance it out, yeah? The first goal we concede, how is that not a foul on Cunha?
It
How?
was. I agree. He goes to the back of him. No touch on the ball. It is a foul.
How?
It's 100% a foul.
Then the second one, what was it? Red card, no red card. Why?
Yeah.
Like, why?
No, it's
Like,
100% a red. I mean, they're bad calls. They don't. It's like those can be things that throw you up, throw everything up, and it's like doesn't excuse performances.
It doesn't
bad at all. But it is ridiculous that it constantly happens. It would not be happening to other teams.
It would not be
doesn't
happening,
happen to
and
other teams.
those things like change the tide of the game because we're so like early into our rebuild that those kind of moments can swing either way for us because we're still a kind of like infancy of this project and everything. Plus oh my God, Bayern, the third goal. I think Ruben Amorim is digging his own grave if he continues to pick that keeper.
Yeah,
honestly,
100%.
It's what's the point of like training and playing all this time for your keeper to do that? Like the third goal, so easy. I don't know why Lamens isn't playing.
I don't know. I got no idea. I have no answer for it. It's ridiculous that he's still playing. I mean, and it's the goal, but it's so much more. I mean, even the second one,
he punched it back into the danger area.
If he lets that ball go, it's rolling across the box to nobody.
It's ridiculous. Like
There's
even before performances, I'm seeing ridiculous stuff that we shouldn't even be, having to deal with at this stage. Like a dodgy keeper. Like really.
Yeah.
It's
add on to everything else.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like
it's
it's a failure on. I don't want to say the ownership because they got a keeper. I don't know whether they're waiting for him.
Why is not picking?
Why is he not picking him? They said he's out of the hotel. Okay, yeah, I'm expecting him to start. So like, it's crazy that even before I get to the performances, I'm seeing things that like so childish, so childish. With the keeper, and performances on the other hand. I think, you know what? Yeah, this system is so specific that if you don't have wing backs playing, it's a completely different system. That's what I've noticed. It's that the difference between Dalo and Ahmad. Yes. The difference between Dalo and Ahmad at wing back, like it's like two different teams.
Yeah.
If we don't have a wing back, so Dalo was poor today. I don't know. Mbeumo and Cunha, I don't know. I think Cunha has this kind of main character syndrome where he wants to shoot all the time. I don't know why, Not that it's bad, but like why? The performances, Ruben Amorim's team selection again. Why is he dropped? Why Shaw has not been dropped? All I can say is team selection, man.
6 out of
team
6,
selection.
Man. Yeah, it's crazy.
Team selection.
It's crazy.
Like at this point, I'm tired of complaining. Like, I don't know, man. He needs to just change that team selection, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
becoming
It's
weird.
like, look, because the thing is there's issues. There's issues with tactics, system, all that we can discuss. The basics, the simple things that they
Yeah.
cannot do, and that there seem to be no consequences for, because they
Yeah.
just get this. They get picked every week, whether they do the basics well or not. They're just going to keep getting picked. Is, to me, absolutely baffling, because you can fix that.
Yeah, those are the
can
things you
fix that.
can't fix. It's in your control.
Yeah.
You know, even that's why at this point, like talking about tactics bores me, because even before the tactics, I'm seeing simpler stuff that's so obvious to talk about. Like
It's
it's
fixable,
weird,
yeah.
man. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
very
fixable.
fixable.
If he picks Bayern next game, and I know he's not a serious manager, like I'll lose faith because even before, like as a coach, as a guy, I like Amorim because he's kind of honest. As a guy, you like him. But if he continues to pick that keeper for the next game, then I'll lose respect for him. Honestly, I will.
Yeah, you can't be serious continuing to do that. You can't.
Yeah. I can't even talk about tactics, and that's where I am now.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, like I'm over that one right now, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in the next game. I don't know, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay.
Nice talking to you.
All right. See ya. All right, Jan. Ooh, hold on. Let's go this way. How you doing?
Oh, terrible.
Bad?
Terrible.
Terrible? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me just start off by saying, like, I saw the lineup, and besides the 3 new players in our front three, I didn't have a reason to watch the game. And I think that's very sad. I didn't have anything to look forward to. I think we have the best team in last 5 years, probably, besides the midfield.
Sure.
But the midfield has always been the issue. And I don't know if it shows up on your stream too, but I think in like the 10th minute, it showed like the predictions. And Brentford were the favorites, even before the game. They were the favorites to win the game. Brentford against Man United. Brentford lost 3 of their best players and the manager, and they were the favorites to beat us. How is that possible? I just think Amorim doesn't have the balls to manage us. I think he just doesn't have the balls, and I think that has to be one of the top requirements for the next manager. Has to be the balls. He has to be able to say, no, you're not playing. Yes, you are playing. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about what you've done in the past, how many UCLs you won, anything. You have to, show that you have the balls for it,
Yeah.
I really find it frustrating how slow we build up, and especially like the throw-ins. I think we take like 10 or 15 seconds to
I
throw
know.
the
Every
ball,
time I'm
and then we
sitting there
throw
like,
it to Sesko, who is double teamed. Like, why? Why? Just throw it elsewhere, just play quickly. And we were losing 2-0 as well at that time.
I don't know.
And we still
And it's
throw
like
it
walk
slow.
on
I
the
don't know.
sideline, 30 seconds, wait.
I think us United fans are very patient. Like, we've been shit for years. Like, we're very patient. At least give us a manager who will give us a reason to tune in and watch the game. Like, when we were playing under Ten Hag, we were shit. But if Kobe played, everyone would be looking forward to watching him play. At least that. And at least that, like, at least take 3 youngsters on the bench so we have, like, a chance to see them in the game. I'm not saying build a team on them, but give us something. There isn't anything.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, today really, to me, was the most confidence loss that I've had because of, again, it's like, I know this is going to happen if we cannot do this, there's players who last week, even against Chelsea, were poor. Luke Shaw was one of them. We know what they're going to do. We know what's going to happen. We know how this works. Why not be looking to build something? Why play so many players who we just know are going to keep doing this over and over and not put, because there's just no urgency. The performances are bad. The sluggish, the energy is poor. And it's like, if you can't fix that,
like,
then
we
I
have
don't
the
know
top
what to
6
do.
team easily.
Yeah.
And plus we're playing 1 game a week. That should be our advantage. Like, this team has to finish top 6 with a decent manager. I'm sorry, but today I'm out. I hate to say it because I really want to back him, but I don't see anything to keep backing him, and I'm not just gonna be blind. I have to. I'm just saying, like,
I hear that.
Get maybe Xavi on like 1-year deal and see, like, tell him you have until the end of the season to show us that you will, be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Like you said, I think I agree with what you said. It's like this fear of like certain players, like they just have to play. They have to do this. There's no, I don't know. I'm right with you because it's just like, I don't know. There's no evidence that this specific issue that keeps happening is going to change and that it's being fixed at all. There's no evidence of it.
Yeah, and the worst part is you cannot do anything about it. Like you and me, we cannot do shit about it. That's the
No.
worst part, You sit and look at the TV and you say, yeah, I might get mad, but that's not gonna fix it.
Yep. For sure. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
See you.
See ya. All right, Mohammed. Sorry I didn't come back to you again here. How you doing?
No worries. How are you? How's everything?
Okay, not great, but okay.
I joined in just to blow some steam off because I'm
Yes.
just waking up at 7:30 in the morning to see Dalot on a counterattack play the ball short where he's got to put more pace on it for the ball to go through.
Yeah.
That's the difference between between making it happen and then them coming on a counterattack the complete opposite way. I think Cunha was there. If he plays Cunha through this, we might have a whole different ball game. I don't know how Dalot gets in on our squad. Like he doesn't even play for Portugal. He barely plays for Portugal. Semedo plays over him, and here we are, Manchester United, playing this guy week in and week out, expecting same player expecting different results.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's the first thing. The second thing is this system, this 5 in the back, 3 in the back, whatever we want to call it. Can you name me, besides Mourinho and Conte, who really had success in this, and it's sustained success? Conte, I wouldn't consider it sustained success. He never really stuck around for a club long period of time besides in Italy. And Mourinho, same thing. I wouldn't consider him sustained success either. He's when he played it, Mourinho selectively played it, but Conte, continuously played it. So I haven't seen any manager that has play with this 5 in the back. Teams are building out of the back, and then you have your goalie buying there. You're digging your own grave, bro. Like, you paid, you got your goalie. You blame. Let's say you got you got the goalie out on loan. You blamed him. Okay, fine. Yes, he was a problem, bro. You paid money. Let's put him in the net. We've known even last year, Bayindir showed like he doesn't have it in him. Those goals that he literally, even Luke Shaw saved him once. He drops it right in front of the goal. I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper, but I've known goalies when they make the save, they push the ball out. So I don't even
it just
know.
always goes right back in front. I agree, and look, I agree. It's not much I can say. It's just like it's the same shit, different week, same shit.
And honestly, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Bruno's a problem. Bruno's a problem." I'm a big Bruno fan, so I might be a little biased about this, but Bruno's being played out of position. You're asking Bruno to be a box to box. Bruno's not a box to box. Bruno's a 10. I don't understand how, like, we're expecting Bruno to do so much, but has to come out of the back. Bruno's more dangerous when he's on the other team's third. And then while I'm looking at this formation, like if you look at it structurally, Mbeumo is on the right side, wide, and then Cunha is tucked in, and those are two. What is Dorgu our winger? I don't understand. I don't see any fluidity. I think I got enough off my
today
chest,
was
man.
very confusing on that front, but yeah, look, I can't disagree at the moment because just things aren't working. It's just not working, and we can't put it together 2 games in a row, and that's terrible. So
thanks for hearing me out. I'm gonna give somebody else a chance. I blew my steam.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. See ya. All right, Venti, how you doing?
Gun to my head, right?
Yeah.
Am I Amorim in? Am I Amorim out? I have to say Amorim out because I don't see any of the decisions that he's making. But I'm not Amorim out today. I'm not Amorim out next week or this month.
Right.
Honestly,
Yeah, I hear that.
he hasn't had a full season. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna preface this by saying, like, I don't understand any of the decisions. I don't think he's doing a good job picking the team. He's not doing a good job in anything tangibly that I can see. He's not doing a good job with management, motivating the players. I mean, like, you know, but I'm sitting outside, right? And if you're talking about like previous managers who seemingly have made the same mistakes, these are professionals who, like, for some reason they are coming to the same conclusion, and I don't see it, and it's so frustrating. And the other thing is, you said about Mbeumo and Cunha that they're good players. Well, Amorim's a good manager. Like, he was at Sporting, he motivated those players. Those players believed him. Did you see like what the reactions were when he was leaving the club? He had a team of players who would die for him, right? So what I don't understand what it is that's going wrong. It must be something to do with the dressing room culture, with the something above him. But like, he seems like a changed man. Something has happened to him to get him to that state. So I don't know if we're going to be thinking about sacking the manager, right? We have to think about it from a management perspective, right? The people in charge of this decision have to go to him, and they have to ask the questions, and they have to get answers, and they'll either be happy with the answers or they won't be. And if they're not happy with the answers, you know, if they're happy with the answers and they can see the vision, then I'm fully happy to give him the season and commit to him. If the management is not seeing what Amorim is doing, then we need to sack him right now, and they better have a plan B. They better have bought every player that they committed money to with a plan B in mind, and that plan B better be good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with you, because it was like I was saying earlier, when he was there, kicked out a lot of players, was happy to bench players, trusted the youth, stuck with what he was going to do. He converted players to get the players he needed in the position, and trusted young players to do that instead of just putting players who he knows can't do it. His management, what he's doing here is like the opposite. And it's depressing, because it's awful. It's so hard, like, to look past picking players every week that he shouldn't be picking, no consequence for mistake, and then saying, well, what's the problem? Well, if you can't get that right, then I don't even know, like someone was saying, I don't even know how to talk about tactics when you can't get the basics stuff right, the basic decisions. And nobody seems to understand why you keep doing this. Why is Aiden Heaven not played for Luke Shaw this season yet? I don't understand. Why? I don't see a reason for that. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. What's the purpose? Where's the explanation for these types of things? They're not there, and that really bothers me.
I can agree or disagree with some of that. Like, to give him credit, he has kicked out players, right? So he has done that, and that's one of the things that no one before him has done, and we all agree, like, this is very important. So he did do that. You speak a lot about not committing to Bruno so much. I agree. I don't think we should. He definitely should have been subbed off this game at 60 minutes. When you saw 100%. That he's not playing well, sub him off. Completely wrong decision not to sub him off. But I can understand playing him a lot of games, at least. Not every game, a lot of games, because there's no alternatives. You said Luke Shaw. He had a decent start to the season, and he had like a few bad games for sure, but I can understand why he would commit to him. I can see the logic. I don't agree with it. I can see his logic, at least. Aiden Heaven, he had a few bad games, if memory serves, in the friendlies. Maybe on the training pitch, he sees something that he's not ready. I can strong man a reason why he's not playing Aiden Heaven. Like, Euro rotating him, I think Euro's been one of our best players. Maybe he's putting more trust in De Ligt and Maguire. They're more experienced. I can sort of see the logic. The point is, like, for every single decision he makes, I sort of disagree with it. And I have to say, I see the logic. Sure, I can. It's so, like, he better, I don't know.
I think the thing is,
be on the same page.
Like, I can see, again, it's not, like I've said before, it sounds extreme when I'm after the game. I can understand why Bruno plays. I can understand why these players are selected. What the part that doesn't add up is when they become undroppable, when they won't be rotated, when they won't be subbed. when you won't change them. Because I can understand picking Bruno. It sounds very harsh whenever I talk about Bruno, but what I'm really saying is, why is he undroppable? Why is it only always Bruno in this Premier League team? Why can't he be dropped when he's having a bad game? Why can't he be rotated? Why can't he be benched for the next week? Why can't we do something else? Why can't that happen? Because players are allowed to have bad games. It happens. But if you persist with them despite those bad games, and then other players, the standard is very different, you can't get congruency, consistency, and any kind of standard baseline where people know this is what I need to do to play.
Okay, have you heard there's a saying called get a reputation as a hardworking man and you can sleep in every day, basically. And like for some reason, Amorim, like he sees him as a leader, right? If there's no other leader that he deems capable on the pitch, maybe that's why he's giving Bruno more leeway. I don't see him sustainably not punishing players for bad performances. I mean, like Luke Shaw, I think Luke Shaw might be benched next game, like because he didn't have a great performance. Maguire had a bad performance. I think your row's going to start next game, in my opinion.
Well, sure, I agree. But do you know what I mean by this? Like, I look at Kobe Mainu, and it was like the Fulham game. Bruno should have come off, and it cost us big time.
Yeah, he should have
come off. He should have come off, and it cost us. Again, he missed a penalty after not coming. Like in both games, he should be off. He loses his runner against Fulham. He misses the penalty today. You can win or lose games on that basis on in-game management.
But
you know what I mean?
My point is that Ruben's put faith in Bruno, and I'm willing to give Ruben at least 3-4 more weeks to sort of see that, okay, maybe I shouldn't be putting so much trust in Bruno, because managers have to be sort of
he would have to change
rigid.
big time. I mean, he's not going to get sacked next week, so we're going to have to confront that in a minute.
Right.
So it's like, he's going to have to change, and I guess that I'm in agreement with you. I get that. He's going to have to recognize and change some things, because what I'm seeing now isn't working, right? That's the main thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've seen a lot of the same players these first 5 games. So like to see, I mean, Kobe wasn't good today. Like for all the talk, play Kobe, Kobe didn't play well. He didn't.
But is he going to get a chance, to work into some kind of form? You know what I mean? Like in terms of starting games in 90 minutes.
But if Kobe already is coming in with them, and I'm taking up a lot of time here, so I'm sorry, but like if Kobe is not motivated by the manager can't motivate Kobe, then it's a spiral.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and that is a concern for sure. But look, I agree with you. I get it. It's more of a positive, not a positive, but more. I get what you're saying, and I don't totally disagree with it. I'll probably agree with it more tomorrow. But at the same time,
just to summarize, the only reason why I'm not Amorim out is because that's what we've done so many times before. Get a manager in mid-season, get the morale up, and then in 2 years we're back in the same place. So
I know, and I don't want to see part-time performers turn up again. We change it, and then we're back in the same boat. That's almost why I'm like, I would almost persist with the failure if it means we also change these part-time performers before it's too late, but before everybody else gets infected too, because it can go too long as well. But like, something's got to end. And I'm like, if he would just change these things and show these standards, I'd be willing to accept a lot more right now. But I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing the same story as ever at the moment. Yep. Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna go to the next one.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Thank you. All right, Yassir, what's going on, my man?
That's so unfair to the previous caller because I disagree with everything he said.
Fair enough.
So I think I'm one to back managers. I'm a fan. At the end of the day, we win, I'm happy. We lose, I'm upset. I think the thing with Amarin I'm frustrated with is I think it's so far gone that there's just no turning back from this. I think I'm a firm believer that when you make a mistake as a manager, and I'm talking about mistake, the unnecessary mistake, it's not an easy fix. It's not like next week like you can fix the mistake. No. Those mistakes, it's like compounding. It compounds from week to week. The notion of, oh, he's gonna figure out next week. He's gonna change. The reality is that's not how football works.
Yep.
Even if there's a light bulb that comes into his head, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna change, and he actually picks the right team. If their team loses, then it's still a loss. So it's
I know.
then
And
so
then
the
you go
question,
back again and again
yes.
and again. Yeah.
So
And that's my biggest
yeah,
concern is like, oh, we haven't seen a light bulb moment. We haven't
yeah,
seen the consistency of decision making that I think it would take to fix what's going on. And it's like I kind of go about that Bruno thing, and it's like but I think people go into the same trap of it because they say, well, Bruno didn't play and we lost. But that's the same trap. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's all on Bruno, but I'm saying just because you did one thing one time and it didn't work doesn't mean that it's never, that's completely the wrong thing. It's like there are sometimes you have to fight through stuff. Um
Yeah.
yeah, and but I'm not seeing that, like the evidence that he's gonna change something.
And then the thing is, I think I respect him in that aspect though. Ruben Amorim is not going to change. He said that time and
Yeah.
time again, and I've kind of accepted that he's not going to change. You might not like this. You're not going to like this, but I'm gonna say something, and I'm just preface that because I don't want you to get triggered. But I
Yeah.
do see very stark similarities between him and the previous manager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, right now
do.
I do. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do because I just feel like there is the notion of the stubbornness to consistently. It's that idea of like when you watch a game, you analyze a game, and you analyze the both aspects of it, the good and the bad. It's like some managers may focus too much on the bad, some managers focus too much on the good, but
Yeah.
I just generally feel like he focused way too much on the good of the game, and
Mm,
he is there's an expectation in his mind that if we can just do the good things to a high level, then we will be okay. But then I think you're just ignoring the glaring deficiencies and the way you set up the team, not tactically but personnel. The
yeah.
idea of playing an extremely high line with Maguire as your center
And not
defender,
having Euro in it,
it
which would have helped a hell of a lot for that problem if you
it
had
just
Euro back. Yeah.
it just like
I
he
know.
doesn't
I know.
see it though, James.
I know. It's like this is why I say it's like a personnel thing too, and all that. Because I look at it and I'm like, but it's him, right? Because I look at it and I'm like, I think he thinks. I've said before. I think he thinks some of these experienced players are
Yes,
going to turn it around for him. Are going to turn it
yes,
around, and they didn't. They did poor this week, but they'll turn it around, and he has faith in them. And he's wrong. They're going to sack him, and I'm not. That's not removing him from
yes.
responsibility. They're going to sack him. I guarantee it. That Bruno, not every game, but I'm saying if you don't have the standards, if you're not doing like Shaw, Maguire, Dallo, Bruno, by India, they will sack you. They're going to sack you in the way that you're managing them right now. They're going to sack you. If you're relying on them week in and week out, it's been 3-4 managers for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sack you. And it's not necessarily because they're bad players or the this or the that, but what you're seeing is who they are. And I think he's thinking they're not. He's seeing that that this isn't them and they'll just turn it around. This is them, man. This is
I,
it. This is what they can and
yeah.
can't do.
Does any? I mean, this might be a very simplistic way of viewing it, but do you think his age has anything to do with it? I don't know, cause
Yeah.
like
Maybe he's
I
too
just
close to them, you mean? Like,
yeah, like
yeah,
there's
I've thought about that. Yeah.
cause I don't. It's just human nature. Sometimes when you're surrounded by players that just been there for a long time,
Yeah.
they just have a sense of presence where they have a sense of influence, and that's
Yeah.
just human nature. Where the young player is more timid, more like quiet, more like willing to follow direction versus maybe the senior players are more vocal, and they
Hmm.
kind of like give the back and forth in terms of
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to fix solutions. Where imagine you're the one who's trying to help fix solutions when you are the problem, and it's
Hmm.
like, and he's I think
That
he there's a
leadership team worries me because most of them are
exactly.
the worst players in the team right now.
But it's also a sense of comfortability though. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely believe Bruno Fernandez is his like safe blanket.
Yeah.
That's where he feels the most safest. Him, Casemiro. I mean, obviously there's a language thing where I this is obvious. You have you have Spanish managers. They
Yeah,
when
yeah. I
you
know what you're
speak the
saying.
same
Yeah.
language, there's a sense of familiarity. So I just worry about that again. It's I you look at, I think, just watch if like a lot. I just watching the Premier League, watching like games. This is just not acceptable. Why does every team look just better than us? It's like
I know.
every team. And it's like I guess the part that I can never let Amrin off the hook is w- I'm I'm one of the fans, but I'm not asking for the world, Amrin.
Me neither,
I'm just
especially not this season. Yeah.
I'm just asking for back-to-back games. We just beat Chelsea. Just get a win against Brentford. That's it.
Yep.
But we lost a game in the first 20 minutes, James.
I
Do
know.
you know how crazy that is? And it's like, I'm sorry, but I get it. Like, if we would have came back, everything, everyone would have been happy. But if you 2-0 down in the first 20 minutes, the game's
You've
over.
al- it's yeah,
It's
it's
done.
yeah.
It's just done.
Yeah.
It's just like you lost the
And
game in the first 20
honestly,
minutes.
and it was preventable to me because it
Yes.
is predictable stuff. You didn't play a pacey center back in your high line, and you picked by India. And it's like those two things could have changed the game right there. Like that could have stopped these errors.
I just feel like there's too much for him to kind of
Yeah,
there's too much light bulbs to go off in his brain for him to change, and he's
yeah,
not going to. And I've just accepted that. I've predicted. I've said this after. I just knew it. Like, we're gonna win a game here, we're gonna lose a game here, we're gonna draw a game here, we're gonna win a game here, and that's just the way our season is panning out. I mean, the pattern is patterning, and
yeah,
it's. Am I gonna be surprised if we beat Sunderland next week? No. Am I going to be surprised that we lose the following week? No. So it's like the game. It's just one of
yeah,
those where, like, that's just who we are right now. And the last thing I'll say before I go off, I know you. I know I was happy that we signed both Cunha and Abuemo,
yeah.
but I do every time I watch them play together, I do feel like it's a bit redundant to have both of them. I don't know. Like, what do you think about that? I just feel like I don't know what they. I think like they in my mind, when I'm watching the game, I feel like we're okay with having one, but not both. Maybe
I think part of
yeah,
the reason for that is that we're just not getting the ball to the forwards enough, so it feels like there's not enough touches to make sense of having them all on the pitch
yeah,
because we're losing it so much in so many stupid areas because it's like usually it'll be like one is ball dominant and then you barely notice the other one playing and it
yeah.
feels like that. But I think the reason is we should have a lot more touches from them. So like when Cunha was out in Bumo, like a Burnley, that at 60 minutes there was flying,
Mm-hmm.
but we should have it even more. I look at today, like we just lost the ball so much before we're getting it into the opposition half. And so there's not really much of a reason. Like there should have been a lot more instances of Mbumo getting across and Cunha making a run and these kinds of things happening, but instead it's like very rare because we were so casual with the ball and losing it
Yeah,
so
that makes
much.
sense. No,
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. It's just kind of sad because like Sesko scored today, but man, like look at the goal he scored today. Like, it was like from like nothing, and he earned that goal, and
yeah,
it just kind of like I just feel bad for the new players because I feel like they have to work so
yeah.
hard for this team, and then for you not to get nothing out of it. It just from week to week to week, and it's like, and you just don't, like, week to week is like, oh, Obama didn't play well today, Cunha didn't play well, Sesko didn't play well today, but it's like, it's how can they? This team just
I know.
doesn't. We're just
But then
not
I,
good.
I know, but then I look at
Yeah,
stuff too, like Mbumo draws a foul, the
yeah,
penalty, and captain steps up and misses it again.
yeah,
Like, give me a break, man. Like this
yeah,
guy, like that.
yeah.
That's the guy
Well,
who's supposed to be feeding you passes, who's supposed to be giving you chances. He's missing passes all game. He's not particularly playing defense, and then he's just missing your penalty that you draw too. Like,
But isn't that predictable, James? Like, look,
It is
it's
predictable.
like
It is predictable.
think about what happened in the game. We got a penalty. Oh yes, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it back. It's gonna be 2-2. There's gonna be enough time to get a winner. We missed a penalty and we lose the game 3-1. It's so predictable.
It
It
is.
is like
We should have been right back in it with all the
yeah,
momentum, and instead,
yeah,
I can't let play. I honestly, I cannot look past. I cannot believe anybody's looking past the captain missing 2 huge penalties this early in the season.
it's
Those are moments of focus. That's all that matters when you're taking a penalty is focus, mental
yeah,
toughness. And if that is the captain, I'm telling you, you're missing the boat if you don't think it's a huge problem. When your captain is not focused during games and doesn't lead like that. It's not the only problem, but it is a huge problem when the captain is in that headspace during games. It's huge. It's a huge symptom of a major problem, I guess I would say, a massive symptom of a major problem, in my opinion. I think it's almost like you're screwed, man. If your captain is like that, you're screwed. You're never gonna
yeah.
win.
I don't know if you have the Liverpool game on. Whole back three not working. I'm watching like Glasner. Literally, they're creating, they're destroying Liverpool. Like it
Yeah,
should be more
I
than
know. I'm
1-0,
watching it. Yeah,
and they're playing with a back three. Like this notion of a back three doesn't work. It's not. It's never the system. It's never the system. I've watched Pep Guardiola play with a back three, win the league with it. He had like Akanji, was it Nathan Ake, and I think it was Ruben Diaz,
yeah,
and he used to
yeah,
push the John Stones in midfield.
yeah.
Like like it's played with a false nine. Like systems are. It's about the quality of the players you have, and it's when you're picking players like Luke Shaw, and you're picking players like Harry Maguire, and you're playing players like Diego Dalot to play as a wing back.
Yeah.
Like I just
And
and
buy in,
then
dear. Your
Binder.
keeper, like, give me. Yeah,
Again, and then I know I've taken so much time. I
it's
apologize.
all good. It's all good.
Um, I will say this last thing. Um, Unfortunately, it's not supposed to be this case, but Casemiro is our best midfielder. I'm gonna
I
say
know.
this
I
now.
kind of came to that conclusion this
Yeah,
week because I was like, shit.
yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Which is like that's where we are.
yeah.
That's literally where we are, Jays.
I know.
So so when he got the red card, I was like, oh crap, oh no, no.
I would play Casemiro and Ugarte in a midfield
Yes,
every day, by the way. I would play it
yes,
every single game, and it would give you stability. It's
yes,
so unstable without it. It's like they each give you something actually valuable if you put them together. But when you mix it all up,
yeah. I mean, Casemiro is dangerous in set pieces, and
yeah,
like so it's
yeah,
he can for what he lacks, he has box presence. So I mean that's just where we are, James.
yeah.
I mean it's gonna be a very long week,
Oh, oh
but
man, it's gonna be a long week.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the media are gonna go crazy. Like, I mean, we're not even in October yet, James.
I know.
It's just crazy, man. Like, all I wanted was for him to have a good start. All I want Amrin to have a good start,
I
get a
just
couple
wanted to
wins.
settle down. A
That's
couple wins
it.
here, just
Yeah.
cool down, and let's just build. But
Yeah, I don't care about the selection. I don't care about
every
who's
week, man.
mad. Who cares? Like whatever. Just get a couple wins. Get let like good positivity build. People say let the media run with all is United turning the corner, but no, we're so bad, and this is coming really crazy enough. This morning, what happened? Graham Potter got sacked, and it's
Uh,
just like the whole thing is just it's not good. It's just not
it's
good,
not good,
James.
man.
Have a
It's
good one,
bad.
man. I
See
appreciate
you,
it.
buddy. Thank you. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out today. This is rough, really, really rough. I'll be back probably tomorrow. Probably not today, but tomorrow I'll be back to with some. I'll relook at the game again with fresh eyes, talk about it, all that. But I don't know. I've today hurts. Today hurts. I want to be um positive, for the right reasons too, I'm really, really worried that the things that I'm hopeful for are not being done that would, because I see things that should be happening. I see a lot of things that should be happening and they're not. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for all the callers. Appreciate you all for being here. See you later, everybody. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.